Great respect for Coach Gregory and South Florida program, and they just in the second half we were not able to stay with them. I'll give a ton of credit to Tyler Harris and Russell Tachua for controlling the game, particularly on offense. They both, especially obviously Harris in the second half, and Tachua was difficult for us to deal with the whole game, and we just weren't able to string enough stops together to keep the game close in the second half. I think we took a brief lead in the second half after being down at halftime. We did not finish the first half well. I thought we came out in the second half and, we're playing a little bit better. But, once South Florida got control of the game, I thought Harris in particular and Tachua inside and just their team as a ball club, they did a great job, and we weren't able to get it any closer.
All right, questions? Coach, second straight game, double-digit threes against you guys. Some of that due to who you are playing. It's a big shot. What have you seen that's maybe left that many dollars in?
Freshmen in particular, but look, you give South Florida all the credit. They got guys that can shoot the ball. Harris can really shoot. Miguel can really shoot. Boggs comes in off the bench. He hits two. He can really shoot. Our guys knew they could really shoot. We told our guys where Harris would shoot the ball from, but until players start to understand how important scouting report is, how important shooter defense is. Again, we play Cincinnati. Landers Nolly makes 2 shots to start the game. Are those the 2 shots that beat us? I don't know, but I do know this. That gets momentum going for a team. Harris, we had done a pretty solid job in the first half. We give Harris a 1-pass 3 off of a driving kick play, which we were adamant not to do, and we had done a good job executing the first half. But the minute you let your guard down in this league, especially versus a great coach team, a really good team with good players, you're going to get punched in the face. And Harris got going, and then you got other guys that come in the game, and we're expecting them to follow scouting report. You got to know who you're guarding. You can't have a hand down versus someone that's a lethal shooter. And Boggs catches and knocks a shot in, and we have a low hand. And, that's on us. That's on us, and we're going to fix it.
When a team like South Florida kind of forces you to play big, with 54, how do you think Luigi played, and what's a tough assignment for a lot of people?
I thought Luigi was dynamic, and we didn't make that change to go big because of South Florida. We made that change because Javon Small is out, and just because you lose a point guard, it's not just about plug and play, because now everybody shifts down a position. So now some bigs have to play a little bit more on the perimeter, or you got to play guys that maybe aren't as comfortable handling the ball. So you either try and do it and continue to do the same thing with guys that aren't really comfortable playing when you don't have a guy like Javon that can create for other people. You're asking other people to create. So what we did was we said, well, let's go big a little bit. Let's play a little zone. Let's see what it looks like for us. I thought we played 5 possessions of zone, I think. They scored 1 time. So I thought that was a positive. But our offense struggles a little bit when we have that lineup. We slid Brandon Johnson down to the 3. He was at the small forward. Ezra was at the 4, and Luigi was at the 5. So we went big, hoping we could do something on the offensive glass. We didn't shoot the ball great, but we had 16 offensive rebounds. But, again, you can't – I'm going to always say this. You guys know how we're hopeful to build this program, and that's with our defense. And until – it doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a senior. If defense isn't going to be where you hang your hat, it's not going to work for you here.
Not having Javon, when did you guys maybe start to know that was a reality? How much did that affect just going through?
I think anytime you see a player, basically just get banged up at the end of the game, Cincinnati, and, Javon had just played his best game he had in 4 or 5 games. You start to immediately think, because the medical has to do their thing and make sure they do the proper protocol and tests and whatnot. So you immediately start to think about it. RJ's been pretty banged up here, and that's why RJ hasn't been able to practice consistently. So he's fighting through it. He's such a tough kid. But we knew we were a little banged up, so we got at it pretty quick in terms of thinking, what might we have to do if we don't have Javon? Potentially, we didn't know if we would have RJ either. And so we went with some different things. We obviously put the zone in, which we had worked on prior. It's not like we just threw it in, but in terms of using it in a game and using an offense that you can play with basically some non-guards out there, 3 guards that you're not really looking to handle the basketball a lot, we had to try and put some stuff, and we'll keep our head down and keep working to get better at it.
You see Javon obviously hurt, but you did have 4 players finish in double figures. What did you think about execution scheme-wise without your point guard?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job and very proud of what Caleb did. I mean, Caleb, you could see, got more and more comfortable as the game went, and he was going versus a savvy veteran. I mean, I've seen Tyler Harris play since he was in high school. When he was in Memphis, I saw him, and we coached against him where I was when I was at Tennessee. So I've seen him. I know what kind of player he is, and he's a dynamic guard. He's one of the best there is in this league. And you look at Caleb, he's going up against someone that's been in college. He's a senior. He's been at 3 different programs. And I thought Caleb fought. I thought Caleb fought his tail off. He ran our offense. He got aggressive scoring when he needed to. I think you saw some of his youth late when we were down. You know, it was a real long shot. If we could get back in, we're down 10. And he took a couple quick shots. And that's where he's got to learn, hey, you got to keep driving the basketball, see if we can get to the free throw line, see if we could do some offense, defense substitutions to trap and get some turnovers, which we did. But he's going to keep growing. I'm proud of him, proud of Jaden Walker, proud of Luigi, what he did with the minutes. And I thought Quentin really gave us some good stuff on offense as well.
Ezra seems to just not be able to get to a real flow tonight. I know some of that was probably due to Chua's presence. Just what did you see from him?
Give Chua a lot of credit. I think Chua is one of the best bigs in the league, but no different than Javon, no different than Brandon, no different than anybody that has some success on film. When teams scout, they're going to attack your weaknesses. They're going to try and make it harder on you. Or if you have a strength, they're going to go extra effort to take it away. We saw Cincinnati do that with Brandon on the glass. I mean, teams are going to try and really keep Brandon off the glass. He's a really good rebounder. And they did a nice job at Cincinnati. I thought Brandon had a great job on the glass today. He ends up with 12 rebounds and 5 offensive rebounds. I mean, that's really good. Ezra, whatever he's done well, teams are going to attack that, and they're going to attack his weaknesses. So how he prepares is going to equate to the success he has in terms of understanding that, whether it's scouting report, whether it's preparation. You don't get a lot of time this time of year. You get 1 day of practice, maybe 2. You have to shrink it up a little bit because of time and games and fatigue. Then you're talking about being a little shorthanded. So if you don't have a good practice or you don't practice well, that is really going to show when the lights come on. And I thought that was maybe a little bit of a byproduct today in terms of our last couple practices for Ezra.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Great respect for Coach Gregory and the South Florida program. And